Before we begin this night prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. It truly helps us reach more hearts who need comfort tonight. I know it's late and the world outside has grown quiet. The lights are low, the air is still, and everything says it's time to rest. But here I am, lying down and yet feeling like I shouldn't, like I haven't earned the right to let go, like I haven't done enough, haven't been enough, haven't fixed the mess I made today. My body may be tired, but my heart is still carrying the weight of my own judgment. It whispers that I should have handled things better, should have said something different, should have been more patient, more kind, more in control. And because I wasn't, something in me says I don't deserve peace tonight. It's such a strange feeling, wanting to close my eyes and sleep, but also feeling like I need to stay awake just to make up for something. Maybe it's an apology I never gave. Maybe it's a responsibility I dropped. Maybe it's just the echo of all the ways I think I've fallen short. I can feel the sheets around me. I can hear the quiet ticking of the clock, but inside there's noise, that inner voice that doesn't rest, that keeps poking at all the small regrets and missed chances, convincing me that rest is a luxury I haven't earned. And so here I am, talking to you, God, not because I'm holy or worthy or sure of anything, but because I'm desperate. I need help to let go, not just of the day, but of the heaviness I've put on myself. I need you to meet me here, in this place between exhaustion and guilt, and remind me that you are not the voice that condemns. You are the voice that gently calls me. Sometimes I think about what I would say to someone else who felt like I do right now. I would tell them they deserve to rest, that one hard day doesn't make them unworthy, that they're still human, still loved. I mean it with all my heart. But when it's me, when I'm the one lying here with sore shoulders and a mind full of shame, I can't offer myself the same grace. I hold myself to impossible standards. I punish myself with restlessness. I treat sleep like a reward, not a right. But God, you never said I had to earn rest. You created it. You designed it into the rhythm of life. You knew our limits, knew we'd get tired, knew we'd have days like this. And yet, still, you invite us to lay it all down, to come to you, not after we've cleaned up the mess, but right in the middle of it. You don't wait for perfection. You come close in the imperfection, in the ache, in the mess. So tonight, I want to believe that you are close, that you're here in this room with me, not standing at the door, waiting for me to fix myself. I want to believe that you see me, the tired me, the imperfect me, the me who can't stop replaying every little mistake. And you don't turn away. You don't demand more. You simply offer peace. That's what I long for tonight. Not answers, not fixes, just peace. A soft place to land. A sense that I can let go, even if nothing is resolved. Even if I still feel unsure. Even if I still don't like how I handled things. Even if I still feel like I fell short today. I need to know it's okay to rest anyway. Because if I wait until I feel worthy, I may never rest again. And I don't want to live that way, always chasing approval, even from myself. I don't want to lay my head down each night feeling like I have to pay penance before I sleep. I want to learn what it means to receive rest as a gift, not as a transaction. So here I am, asking you to sit with me in this uncomfortable space. I don't have pretty prayers. I don't have spiritual confidence. I just have this broken heart that longs for kindness, for quiet, for you. I'm tired of fighting my own mind, tired of justifying why I feel the way I do, tired of pretending I'm fine. Tonight, I want to be honest, not just with you, but with myself. I feel ashamed. I feel like I didn't do enough today. I feel like I was too much in some moments and not enough in others. I feel like I hurt someone. I feel like I disappointed myself. And this voice inside keeps telling me that sleep is a privilege I haven't earned. But that voice, that inner critic, it doesn't sound like you. You don't hold rest hostage. You don't withhold comfort until we measure up. You don't keep love on the other side of performance. You are mercy. You are patience. You are grace wrapped in stillness. So I want to unlearn what shame has taught me. I want to rewrite the story that says I'm only allowed to rest once I'm perfect. I want to gently, slowly, carefully release myself into this night, not as someone who got everything right, but as someone who is still trying, still growing, still learning how to love and be loved. And I want to believe that's enough. I want to believe that you're not disappointed in me, that you're not watching me struggle and thinking you should have done better. I want to believe that you're whispering, I know, I see, I'm still here. Come rest. That you don't flinch at my flaws, that you don't back away from my brokenness, that you're not waiting for me to shape up before you show up. You're already here, aren't you? Maybe I don't feel worthy of rest because I've confused rest with reward. Maybe I've let the world tell me that value comes from that only the best days get celebrated, that only the best people get peace. But that's not your way, is it? You give rest to the weary, not to the perfect. You offer peace to the burdened, not to the polished. So here I am, weary and burdened and undone. I'm not who I wanted to be today, but I'm still yours. Still held, still welcome. Let that be enough. If I can't fall asleep quickly, let your presence keep me company in the waiting. If my mind keeps running, let your voice be the steady rhythm that slows me down. If I wake up in the middle of the night feeling that same guilt, remind me again, I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to be human. I am allowed to receive what you freely give. And if I wake up tomorrow still feeling unsure, still facing the same challenges, let this night be the beginning of something gentle, a new way to treat myself, a new way to trust that your mercy is bigger than my shame. Tonight doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to fix everything before I close my eyes. I just have to let go, just enough to let you in, to let love in, to let rest. I may not feel worthy of rest, God, but I want to accept it anyway. Not because I earned it, but because you're offering it. And I don't want to keep rejecting your kindness. So I'm going to lie here, even if the guilt lingers. I'm going to breathe deeper, even if the shame still whispers. I'm going to close my eyes, even if the inner critic tries to protest. And I'm going to imagine your hand over my heart, steadying it, calming it, reminding me that rest is not something I have to deserve. It's something I get to receive. There's still a part of me that resists it. That voice hasn't gone silent. It still says, you didn't do enough today. You don't get to rest like this. But now I can see that voice for what it is. A wound, not a truth. A habit, not a rule. A pattern of thinking I learned somewhere along the way. Maybe from people who made love feel conditional. Maybe from a world that taught me my worth is in what I achieve. But not from you. Never from you. You're not the one stacking up my failures like a record. You're not tallying every moment I fell short today and holding it against me. You're not measuring me by my productivity or perfection. You're just here, quiet, present, gentle, waiting for me to notice that love never left the room. It's strange how long I've lived in this idea that being hard on myself is the only way to stay good. That rest makes me weak. That relaxing means I don't care enough. That letting go is giving up. But God, those ideas are exhausting. They've turned me into someone who runs on empty and then feels guilty for needing to refill. Someone who doesn't know how to be kind to themselves without first earning it. But what if kindness didn't have to be earned? What if I could just be here as I am, and it was enough? You see me right now. You see everything. The things I got right today, the things I fumbled, the effort I gave, the grace I withheld, the smile I forced, the moment I was short-tempered, the small acts of love no one else saw, the worries I carried silently. You see all of it. I'm tired of carrying the weight of old voices, voices that told me I had to be the best to be loved, voices that convinced me mistakes make me unworthy, voices that said rest is only for people who have nothing left to fix. I'm tired of trying to earn love that was never meant to be earned, tired of trying to punish myself into growth, tired of believing that sleep is something I have to prove I deserve, because every time I try to live like that, I come back to this same place, lying awake, exhausted, aching for peace, but too afraid to take it, and it never helps. It never brings healing. It only deepens the belief that I'm not enough. But tonight, I want to live differently, even just for these next few hours. I want to breathe in grace, even if it still feels unfamiliar. I want to lie in this bed and whisper to myself that rest is safe, that nothing will collapse if I stop holding it all, that no one will love me less if I let the day end unfinished, that I am allowed to be human, I am allowed to be tired, I am allowed to be forgiven. Even if I don't feel worthy of rest, I am still invited to it. So, here I am. I don't have the words to clean up this day. I don't have the power to erase what went wrong. I don't have the energy to keep pretending I've got it all together. But I have this breath. I have this moment. And maybe that's enough to begin again, not tomorrow, but right now, in the dark, in the stillness. Let me feel the weight of your mercy settle into my bones. Let it replace the heaviness of self-blame. Let it soften the edges of all the sharp thoughts that keep cutting me down. Let it soothe the parts of me that still flinch from kindness. I'm learning that rest is not a sign of failure. It's not the enemy of growth. It's not an escape from responsibility. It's part of being alive. It's part of being loved. And maybe the more I allow myself to rest, the more I'll remember what it feels like to be whole, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm held. So as I lie here, under these covers, in this room that holds all my unspoken pain, I choose, with trembling hands, to receive the gift of rest. I choose to believe that even though I feel unworthy, your love still reaches me. Even though I haven't earned it, your peace still surrounds me. Even though my mind says no, your grace says yes. Let your voice be the one I hear as I drift into sleep, the voice that says, you're allowed to rest. I'm here. I've got you. You don't have to keep trying tonight. Just breathe. Just be. Just let me hold you. If I wake up in the middle of the night, let that same voice meet me again, not with judgment, but with calm. If tears come, let them fall into hands that don't turn away. If I forget all of this tomorrow, let tonight still be a seed, a beginning, a quiet shift toward gentleness. And if tonight is still hard, if sleep doesn't come easy, then let your presence be the pillow my soul leans into. Let your grace be the blanket that wraps around all the messy pieces. Let your mercy be the lullaby that plays in the background of my restless mind. Because so I want to learn how to rest in you, not just when everything's right, but especially when it's not, especially when I feel like the last person who deserves it, especially when the noise inside gets too loud to quiet on my own. That's when I need you most. That's when I need to know that you don't love me less because I'm tired, that you're not frustrated with my slow progress, that you're not disappointed in my weakness. You are here, still, always offering peace, offering breath, offering rest. There's something quiet happening in me tonight, not a dramatic change, not a perfect breakthrough, but a softening. It's like the walls I built around rest are starting to wear thin, not because I've forced them down, but because your presence keeps pressing gently against them. You don't demand that I let go. You just keep showing up, night after night, until my tired soul can't help but open the door. I don't know how long I've been living in this mindset that rest has to be earned, that comfort is only for people who've done everything right, that peace is something that comes after productivity. It's become such a quiet, constant pressure that I forgot to question it. I forgot to wonder if maybe it was never true in the first place. And now, here in the stillness, I can finally hear another voice, yours. It doesn't sound rushed. It doesn't sound disappointed. It just says, come rest. I know you're tired. And I am. I'm tired in a way that goes deeper than physical exhaustion. I'm tired of trying to prove that I'm good enough. Tired of measuring myself against expectations I never agreed to. Tired of holding myself hostage with shame. I'm tired of believing that I have to perform to be loved, even by you. But maybe you're not asking for performance. Maybe you never were. Maybe you're the God who meets me in my weariness, not after it's gone, but in the middle of it. Maybe you're not waiting for me to fix my heart before you'll hold it. Maybe you're already here, holding it now, whispering that my value isn't tied to how well I handled today. That's what I want to believe, that even if I feel like I messed up today, even if I replay every awkward moment and every harsh word, even if I sit here drowning in the weight of things I wish I could redo, you're still choosing to draw near. You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for honesty. You're looking for the heart that says, I'm not okay, but I still want to rest with you tonight. And that's the heart I bring, because I can't pretend. I don't have the strength to fake it anymore. I don't want to wear a smile when my insides are aching. I don't want to speak pretty words when all I can feel is heaviness. I want to bring you the truth, even if it's messy, even if it's full of doubt, even if it doesn't sound very spiritual, because I think you'd rather have my raw honesty than my polished performance. You always have. So here's the truth. I feel guilty for being tired. I feel ashamed for needing rest. I feel like I should have been stronger, should have handled things better, should have kept going instead of breaking down. I want to believe that you're the kind of God who sees my tears and stays close, who sees my fear and doesn't flinch, who sees my restless tossing in bed and doesn't say, get it together, but rather says, I'm here, even now, especially now. Not the kind that waits for me to be better, but the kind that comes close when I feel like the worst version of myself. The kind that doesn't shrink away from my insecurity. The kind that doesn't back off when I feel too broken. The kind that climbs into the mess with me, sits in the silence, and just stays. I don't need answers tonight. I don't need a perfect plan. I don't even need to feel better right away. I just need to know I'm not alone. I need to know that even in this place, with my guilt, my shame, my doubt, you still look at me with tenderness. You still call me beloved. That word feels too big for me sometimes. Beloved. It feels like something I'd call someone else, someone gentler, someone more deserving, but you call me that anyway. Not because of what I've done, but because of who you are, and that's what gives me hope tonight. Not my goodness, not my performance, not my strength. Just you, just your mercy, just your heart, beating steady in the silence, reminding me that rest is not earned, it's given. And tonight, I want to receive it with open hands. If I can just feel you here, not as a far-off God with rules and expectations, but as a near and gentle friend who knows me, then maybe I can breathe easier. Maybe I can rest. Maybe I can believe, little by little, that I am worthy of love even when I feel at my worst. And maybe that belief will grow. Maybe tomorrow, I'll wake up and remember what it felt like to rest without punishment. Maybe I'll carry that softness with me into the day, Maybe I'll speak to myself with a little more kindness. Maybe I'll begin to rewrite the story that says I'm only lovable when I'm perfect. Maybe I'll learn to live from a place of grace instead of fear. But for tonight, I don't have to do all that. I just have to lie here. Just have to breathe. Just have to whisper yes to the rest you offer. It's strange how the heaviness that lingers in the quiet hours doesn't always come from what others say, but from the things I've told myself, the expectations I've stacked like bricks on my own chest, the way I replay every moment and twist it into something I should have done differently. The silence around me should be calming, but instead it makes those thoughts louder, clearer, harder to ignore. It's like lying in bed, turns the volume up on every voice that says, you didn't do enough, or you're not who you should be. I shift beneath the blanket, trying to find a position that feels like forgiveness, like safety, like grace. But grace doesn't live in a perfect posture. It lives in permission. Permission to be flawed, permission to be tired, permission to be unfinished and still worthy of rest. And tonight, I need that permission more than ever. You see it all, don't you? The little ways I tried, the small kindnesses I offered even when I was struggling inside, the times I wanted to quit but didn't, the patience I tried to hold on to even when I was fraying at the edges. You saw the things no one else did, the weight I carried silently, the effort I gave with trembling hands, the apologies I whispered in my heart when my words fell short. You saw the way I looked at myself in the mirror and wished I could be different. You saw the pressure I put on my own heart to be perfect, even when all it needed was to be held. And you didn't look away. You didn't scold. You didn't leave. You stayed. Maybe that's the thing I'm slowly learning. That you don't leave when I'm not proud of myself. You don't withdraw when I feel ashamed. You don't turn cold when I haven't performed well. You stay. You are stillness itself. The presence that doesn't flinch. The love that doesn't retreat. When I am at war with myself, you don't join the fight. You wrap me in peace I don't think I deserve, and wait for me to finally believe it's okay to rest in it. Not because I've earned it, but because you want to give it. Tonight, I don't want to fight for worthiness anymore. I don't want to convince myself I've earned the right to sleep. I don't want to rehearse the day like a courtroom speech, trying to justify why I should be allowed to close my eyes. I want to lie down like someone who's loved, like someone who's not being tested every moment, like someone who doesn't have to keep performing just to feel safe. I want to lay it all down. The guilt, the striving, the comparisons, the internal punishments. I want to unclench my heart and let your mercy fill the space shame used to occupy, because I'm tired of being my own judge and jury. I'm tired of treating peace like something I have to bargain for. I'm tired of seeing sleep as a luxury that only better versions of myself deserve. I want to stop grading my days like tests. I want to stop disqualifying myself from comfort. I want to stop measuring my value by how much I accomplished or how few mistakes I made. What if I could just rest as I am? What if tonight could be a soft landing, not a delayed punishment? You are not counting my failures. You are not impressed by my perfectionism. You are not more present on the days I do everything right. You are here right now, in this bed, in this moment. While I still feel unsure, you don't need me to rise to some invisible standard before you'll offer peace. You already offered it. You're already pouring it out in this quiet space, hoping I'll let it wash over me like a gentle tide, and I want to let it. I want to stop pushing it away just because I don't feel like I deserve it. Let this be the night I don't earn peace, I receive it. Let this be the night I don't wrestle my way into rest, I simply fall into it. Let this be the night I let myself breathe without guilt, without resistance, without needing to prove anything first. Let this be the night I believe that you love me, not in spite of my weakness, but right in the middle of it. That you are drawn to the places in me that are tender, that are aching, that you hold them gently, not with disgust, not with impatience, but with the care of someone who has always known how fragile I am and never once asked me to be unbreakable. Tonight, I want to trust that it's okay to not be okay, that it's holy to rest even when there are still things undone, that it's healing to stop punishing myself, that it's safe to let go of the need to fix everything before sleep comes. I want to believe that even if I don't feel like enough, you are enough for me. Even if I still feel undeserving, you are not measuring my value by my feelings. Even if I wake up tomorrow with the same doubts, tonight can still be a sacred pause in the cycle of self-judgment. So I'm here, still breathing, still hoping, still aching for rest that feels like home. I'm here with all my mistakes, with all my second-guessing, with all my fear that I'm not enough. And I'm whispering one small word into the silence. Please, please let me rest tonight. Please let me feel your nearness like a blanket over my heart. Please quiet the voices that say I need to do more. Please remind me that you are not those voices. You are not the pressure. You are not the shame. You are the arms that hold me when I'm weary. You are the eyes that see me through love, not judgment. You are the voice that says, I am already enough for this moment. I don't have to be more. I just have to be. And so I will lie here. I will unclench my jaw. I will soften my breath. I will let my shoulders sink into this mattress and imagine that your presence is holding all of me, not just the good parts. I will not argue with the gift of rest. I will not disqualify myself from the kindness you want to offer. I will let my heart believe, even just a little, that I am not too broken to be comforted, that I am not too much or too little to be worthy of peace, that I can be held even here, even now, even like this. There's a strange kind of silence that fills the night when you've been too hard on yourself all day. It's not peaceful. It's not quiet in the way rest is quiet. It's a silence that echoes with everything I didn't do, every word I wish I could take back, every way I failed to meet the version of myself I thought I should have been. And when I finally pull the blanket over my tired body, it's like I'm also pulling up every reason not to sleep. I don't feel like I belong in this softness. I don't feel like I'm allowed to close my eyes while so much shame is still alive inside me. My head may touch the pillow, but my heart keeps sitting on the edge, waiting for permission to let go. And tonight I want that permission to come from you. I know I can't keep living like this, carrying the day like a sentence, punishing myself with sleeplessness. I know that somewhere inside, a small part of me is longing to believe that I can be worthy of rest, even when I don't feel like I've earned it. But the louder voice still shouts louder, the one that says, you could have done better, you didn't try hard enough, you made someone feel small, you were selfish, you let someone down, you don't deserve peace. That voice is strong and familiar, and for too long I believed it sounded like you. But I'm learning slowly that it doesn't. It never did. Because when I really stop and listen, not to the noise, but to the quiet underneath, I can feel something softer, something steady. A presence that isn't pushing me away or piling on more pressure. A presence that stays even when I've convinced myself I'm not worth staying for. A presence that speaks in silence and tells me I'm still loved. I think that's you. And I think you've been waiting here all along. So maybe I don't have to keep rehearsing my failures in the dark. Maybe I don't have to keep proving to myself why I shouldn't rest. Maybe the things I regret don't cancel out my need for comfort. Maybe the fact that I'm hurting is reason enough to be held. I want to stop standing at the doorway of sleep, afraid to enter. I want to walk into rest, like someone who has a place at the table, not because I got it all right, but because grace made space for me anyway. It's hard though. Hard to believe I'm allowed to feel peace when I feel like I've fallen short. Hard to let go when guilt is still gripping so tightly. Hard to breathe slowly when I've been racing against my own expectations all day. But I'm tired of this race, tired of the wait, tired of the way I talk to myself when no one else is listening. And tonight, I'm asking you to help me rewrite the voice inside. I want the voice in my head to sound more like you, patient, kind, understanding. I want to hear compassion instead of criticism. I want to feel warmth instead of tension. I want to lie here and believe that rest is not the reward for being flawless. It's the relief that comes from being human, from being seen, from being loved in the middle of it all. Because I think that's the truth of who you are. You don't withhold comfort until we fix ourselves. You don't ration out peace for the best behaved. You don't wait at the finish line with rest as a prize for those who never fell. You come to us when we're on the ground, when we're crying in silence, when we can't stop replaying the things we wish we could change. You kneel beside us, whispering, "You are tired, you are hurting. Let me carry some of this. Let me be the stillness you can lean into." That's the God I need tonight, because tonight I am not strong. I am not proud. I am not polished. I am weary and tangled up in my own doubt. I'm full of questions and hollow apologies to myself. And I'm here, not because I figured it out, but because I can't keep holding this alone. I need someone to see me, really see me, and not turn away. And you haven't. You're still here. You haven't given up. And if you haven't, then maybe I don't have to give up on myself either. Let me rest in that. Let me rest in the miracle that you are not disgusted by my imperfection. Let me rest in the kindness I've spent the day withholding from myself. Let me rest in the truth that I don't have to carry everything to be worthy of comfort. I won't fix everything tonight. The shame might not disappear in one prayer, but if I can lie here and allow your presence to stay near, then maybe I'll remember this moment tomorrow when the inner critic rises again. Maybe I'll remember that you didn't ask me to be perfect before you offered peace. Maybe I'll learn how to speak to myself with the same tone you use. Not harsh, not rushed, not sharp, but soft, constant, present. So I'll close my eyes, even if I'm still uncertain. I'll take a deeper breath, even if the guilt hasn't fully faded. I'll stretch out beneath this blanket and pretend, just for tonight, that I am someone worthy of rest. Because maybe, if I pretend long enough, my heart will begin to believe it. And maybe, through believing, I'll begin to live it. Not just at night, but in the daylight too. With gentler words, with slower steps, with a kind of confidence that comes not from perfection, but from being loved exactly as I am. Let tonight be a beginning, a turning point, a crack in the wall I've built against comfort. Let it be the moment I stop running from rest, the moment I stop bargaining for peace, the moment I simply let myself receive what you've been offering all along. There's a moment that comes between wakefulness and sleep, where everything feels both soft and raw at the same time. My body starts to settle, but my mind is still reaching backward, retracing the day in loops I didn't ask for. I think about the things I should have done differently. I think about the words I shouldn't have said, or the ones I should have said sooner. I think about the people I might have disappointed, even if they'll never say it out loud. And underneath all of it, I feel this ache, not just from the events of the day, but from how quickly I turn on myself when things don't go the way I hoped. I carry the kind of guilt that doesn't always have a clear reason. It's not always about one mistake. What I've learned, slowly, painfully, is that I don't have to win your approval before you'll offer peace. That you don't love me more when I succeed or less when I stumble, that you don't measure my days the way I do. You see my heart, not just my actions, but the motives I held, the fears I fought, the courage it took to show up even when I felt broken. You see the moments I stayed quiet when I wanted to yell. You see the times I smiled when my heart was heavy. That's what I need tonight. I don't need a lesson. I don't need a lecture. I don't need a lesson. I don't need a lecture. I don't need a lesson. I need a voice telling me how to be better. I just need someone who will stay. Someone who will look at me in this imperfect, restless moment and not walk away. Someone who will speak softly over the noise in my head and remind me that I can rest even if I didn't earn it, even if I'm not proud of how today went, even if I still feel like I failed. Because I'm tired of needing to be exceptional in order to feel okay. Tired of turning every quiet moment into a courtroom where I'm both the judge and the accused. Tired of carrying the pressure to always get it right, always be enough, always push through. I want to believe that I'm still loved, even when I'm messy, even when I'm not composed, even when I have nothing impressive to show. I want to believe that I am enough for you simply because I exist, not because I proved myself. And I want that belief to sink deeper than my fears. I want it to settle into my chest, like breath, like warmth, like home. There is something sacred about this part of the night, when the world has gone quiet, and the performance of the day has ended, and all that's left is the truth. And the truth is, I am tired. Not just physically, but in my spirit. I'm tired of carrying guilt like armor. Tired of mistaking shame for humility. Tired of pretending I'm okay when I feel like I'm falling apart inside. And in this moment, I don't want to fight anymore. I just want to be held. I just want to know that I'm not too much and not too little. That I don't have to make myself smaller to deserve love. That I don't have to prove I'm strong to receive comfort. I want to let my guard down. Not because everything is resolved, but because I'm finally safe enough to do so. I want to feel safe in your presence, not afraid of disappointing you, not anxious about whether I've earned your attention, just safe. Like a child curling up beside someone they trust, someone who won't ask them to explain themselves, someone who just holds them as they are. I want to be that child tonight, not wise, not brave, not put together, just human, just tired, just needing the kind of peace I can't generate on my own. So I invite you into this room again, into this tangle of thoughts and regrets and quiet sorrow. I don't need you to fix everything right now. I don't need you to erase all my memories of today. I just need you to be near, to sit with me in this silence and not rush me out of it, to wrap your presence around me like a blanket and remind me that I can stop trying for a while, that I can stop holding myself up, that I can just rest, and that's holy too. Let my rest tonight be an act of trust, not in myself, but in you. Let it be a quiet confession that I can't carry it all and wasn't meant to. Let it be a surrender, not of responsibility, but of the need to punish myself. Let it be a beginning of something softer, gentler, kinder, something that doesn't wait for me to be perfect before offering peace. I want to stop waiting to feel worthy, because I may never feel that way. But I don't want to live a life where I keep rejecting comfort just because I'm afraid I haven't earned it. I want to step into the mystery that love can still be real, even when I don't feel like I deserve it, that you can still be near, even when I failed, that rest can still be mine, even on the nights I feel least deserving of it. So I will lie here again, under these covers, and breathe a little deeper. I will loosen the grip I have on all the should-have-beens. I will stop counting the moments I came up short and start noticing the quiet way you keep showing up again and again, even when I try to push you away. I will try not to be better, but to receive better, to receive what you offer without fear, To let your presence calm the fear I still carry in my bones. To believe, even just a little more tonight, that I am loved, that I am held, that I am allowed to sleep in peace. There's a moment I keep coming back to, not a specific memory, but a feeling that pause in the dark where everything is still, and I wonder if you're really here. Not because I doubt you, but because I doubt whether I'm worth showing up for. I lie still, trying to slow my breath, trying to tell my body it's safe now, trying to believe that I can close my eyes without guilt clinging to the corners of my mind. I try to silence that lingering voice that keeps whispering that I need to fix one more thing, apologize one more time, prove myself just a little more before I'm allowed to exhale. And yet here I am again, whispering the same prayer into the quiet, asking the same question in 100 different ways. Can I rest, even if I feel like I don't deserve to? I know I'm not alone in this. I know there are others who lie awake at night, carrying shame that no one sees, shame that doesn't come from huge failures, but from 1,000 small moments they can't stop replaying. I know there are others who keep score against themselves with the sharpest pens, who apologize too often, not because anyone asked, but because they feel like they're always in the way. I know that shame is a language we speak fluently when no one is listening, and I know it always makes rest feel like something we have to earn. But I also know, deep down, that you speak a different language. You don't write in shame. You don't measure worth by productivity. You don't wait until we're perfect before you offer peace. You are already here, already leaning close, already inviting me to rest, even when I don't feel like I've done enough to deserve it. It's humbling, really, to think that love could still reach me when I've done nothing to earn it. That comfort could still wrap around me even when I'm tangled up in my own guilt. That rest could still be offered like a gift, not a transaction. And yet that's what you keep doing. You keep showing up with open hands and soft eyes. You keep whispering that I don't have to do more tonight. I don't have to fix what's already behind me. I don't have to make a case for why I should be allowed to breathe. I just have to come as I am, even if that version of me is weary, full of self-doubt, and unsure of how to let go. So I lie here, slowly letting your gentleness sink into my skin. I imagine your presence as a light that doesn't burn, but warms. I imagine you sitting beside me, not rushing me out of my anxiety, but staying with me in it. I imagine that you're not disappointed in my pace, not frustrated that I haven't healed faster, not upset that I still struggle to believe I'm lovable. I imagine you as patient, present, still, constant, in the storm of my self-criticism. And when I let myself believe it, even just for a breath, I feel something release, a loosening in my chest, a softening in my heart, a sense that I'm not as far from peace as I thought, that maybe it's been waiting for me all along. I've spent so much time trying to do enough to feel okay, trying to earn my own forgiveness, trying to prove that I'm not as disappointing as I fear. But what if you never needed that from me? What if you just wanted me to stop running, to stop proving, to stop hiding, and just rest, just be with you, just let you in? What if rest was never about finishing the day perfectly, but about trusting you enough to stop striving? That's what I want tonight. Not a perfect plan, not a fixed past, just the quiet courage to stop fighting myself. Just the trust to believe that you're not going anywhere, even if I'm still unsure of myself. Just the stillness to receive what I haven't believed I deserve. I want to let go tonight, not because I finally feel worthy, but because I finally believe that you're not asking me to be. I want to fall asleep, not with a checklist in my head, but with peace in my bones. I want to trade the pressure to be good enough for the grace to be held. If I wake up again tonight, I want to remember this moment. I want to feel the weight of your mercy covering me like a blanket. I want to hear the echo of your invitation. You're allowed to rest. I'm still here. You're not alone. And if the guilt tries to return in the early hours, I want your voice to rise. Rise it. I want your kindness to be louder than my shame. I want to learn how to listen for the love I've spent so long believing I had to earn. Maybe I don't feel worthy of rest, but that doesn't mean you withhold it. Maybe I haven't forgiven myself, but that doesn't mean you've turned away. Maybe I still see myself through the lens of failure, but you never stopped seeing me through love. So I will close my eyes again, not to escape, but to come home. To come home to a truth I forget too easily, that I am already held, already chosen, already enough to be wrapped in peace, even with the day unfinished, even with the words unsaid, even with the fear still fading. You are not looking for perfection tonight. You are looking for presence, and I'm here, tired, unsure, still healing, but here. There's something quiet that happens when the night stretches on and I'm still awake, not because I'm not tired, but because I haven't yet allowed myself to rest. My eyes feel heavy, my body is pleading for stillness, but my heart, it's busy keeping score. It's going back over conversations, retracing moments, trying to make sense of why I feel so much shame over a day that no one else would probably even notice. I wonder if anyone else ever feels like they have to earn their way into rest, like they're knocking on a door that only opens if they've been good enough, calm enough, kind enough, strong enough. And I realize I've been treating peace like a prize at the end of a perfect performance, but I've never had a perfect day. So the door stays shut in my mind and I sit outside it, aching for softness. But you never locked that door. You never told me I had to perform to be welcomed. You never asked me to be flawless to be held. You've been waiting on the other side all along, gently calling me in, whispering that rest isn't a reward, it's a gift. And I want to receive it tonight, not with explanations or justifications, but with open hands and a weary heart that finally says, okay, I'm ready. I've always been harder on myself than anyone else ever was. It's almost instinctual now, how quickly I turn a small mistake into a reason to withdraw from comfort. How easily I convince myself that failure disqualifies me from softness, that one wrong word makes me unworthy of compassion. And yet, I'd never say those things to someone I love. I'd never withhold care from a friend who's hurting. I'd never look at someone I cherish and say, you don't deserve to rest because you weren't perfect today. But I say it to myself, not out loud, but in the way I lie here with clenched fists and a heart full of tension, refusing to let go. But you keep offering a different way. You keep coming near, not with condemnation, but with comfort. You sit beside me while I go over every anxious thought and wait until I'm ready to believe something softer. You remind me that rest isn't something to be afraid of. It doesn't erase what happened today. It doesn't pretend everything was fine. It just makes space for healing, for breath, for the kind of quiet that doesn't punish but restores. So tonight, I want to unlearn the lie that rest is something I have to deserve. I want to remember that you rested too, that you modeled stillness not as weakness but as wisdom, that you built pause into the rhythm of life and called it good. And if you see it that way, if you welcome me into it, not with reluctance but with joy, then who am I to argue? Who am I to keep myself from something you are so ready to give? I want to let the night be what it is, a shelter, not a courtroom. I want to let this bed hold me without resistance. I want to let the breath in my chest slow without fear. I want to stop rehearsing the moments I regret and start listening for the mercy that's been speaking over them the whole time. Because I believe now, more than I did at the beginning of this night, that mercy isn't withheld when I'm at my lowest. It's poured out more freely. If I carry shame, you carry me. If I carry guilt, you carry grace. If I carry doubt, You carry every fragile part of me without judgment. And that's what I need. Not someone to fix me, but someone to stay. Someone who isn't moved by my self-criticism. Someone who sees past my overthinking and holds onto the real me, the soft center I keep hidden under all the pressure. That's what you do. You hold, you stay, you cover me in peace even when I don't ask for it out loud. You make rest possible, not because the day went well, but because love doesn't depend on outcomes. It depends on presence. And you are here. So tonight, I will lie back again. I will not justify. I will not explain. I will simply be. And in that being, I will let my body remember that it is safe, that it is not being punished for having limits, that it is not in trouble for being tired, that it can receive this moment, this breath, this stillness, this warmth as something good, something sacred. Even if tomorrow I struggle again, even if I forget this truth when the sun rises, even if I find myself keeping score once more, tonight will still matter. Tonight will still count. Tonight is still a step toward grace. Some nights, it's not the noise that keeps me from sleeping. It's the silence, the way it presses in, asking me to finally face myself without distraction, the way it holds up a mirror and reflects every moment I've tried to forget, every word I regret, every time I fell short of who I wanted to be. In the quiet, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide from the guilt I've packed so neatly into my chest, and I find myself lying here, eyes closed but wide awake on the inside, wondering once again, have I done enough to rest? Have I done enough to be at peace? And deep down, I already know the answer you would give. I know you're not keeping score. I know you're not demanding more effort before you offer comfort. I know that you've already said, "Come to me, all who are weary." And I'm exactly that, weary in every way. But still, part of me struggles to believe that invitation includes me as I am now, not after I've made amends, not after I've had a better day, not after I've become stronger, calmer, wiser, but now, tonight, in this moment where I still don't feel proud of myself, where I still feel like I let myself down. But maybe that's exactly the moment. You mean, maybe you're not looking for strength, you're waiting for surrender. Not the dramatic kind, not the kind that feels powerful or poetic, but the quiet kind, the kind that whispers, "I can't carry this anymore," the kind that lets go without all the answers, the kind that lies back in bed and chooses to receive comfort even with the ache still present. I want to be brave enough to let you comfort me. That might sound simple, but for me, it isn't. It takes courage to rest when I feel like I haven't earned it. It takes faith to let myself be held when I'm used to holding everything alone. It takes trust to stop striving, even for one night, and believe that you'll still love me in the morning. And that's the kind of bravery I want tonight, the quiet, unseen kind, the kind that says yes to peace without condition, the kind that says, even if I still feel broken, I'm still worthy of being soothed. There are so many messages I've internalized about worth that it's tied to success, to strength, to being the best version of myself. But those messages never bring peace. They only make rest feel further away. They only deepen the belief that I have to earn every good thing, even sleep. But you never spoke to me in the language of achievement. You've always spoken in the language of grace. And grace, I'm realizing, is most powerful when I feel like I deserve it least. So I don't need to have a perfect explanation for why I'm tired tonight. I don't need to justify my right to lay down this weight. I just need to show up in the truth of how I feel, exhausted, guilty, unsure, and let you meet me there. Let you whisper over me what I'm not yet able to say to myself. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to stop striving. You are allowed to be loved, even here. And I want to believe you. I want to believe that you're not keeping a distance until I prove I'm worth the nearness. I want to believe that you're not asking me to be stronger than I am right now. I want to believe that you knew this moment would come, this moment of surrender, and you've been waiting for it with arms already open. So let this be the moment I stop running. Let this be the night I stop rehearsing all the ways I wasn't enough. Let this be the hour where I stop arguing with love and start letting it in. Let this be the beginning of a different kind of sleep, not one I fall into because I'm too tired to resist, but one I step into willingly with the knowledge that I'm already held. Let that be enough. Let me lie here and feel the permission in your presence. Let me breathe slower. Let my muscles unclench. Let the thoughts that race slow to a walk, then to a gentle hush. Let me feel my own heartbeat and not rush past it. Let me feel the rhythm of the night, the quiet air, the softness of the blanket, the sacredness of stillness, and know that I belong here too, not as a visitor, not as a guest in my own rest, but as someone who is always meant to be welcome. Because you welcome me, not reluctantly, not with conditions, but with joy. And I want to learn to welcome myself the same way. I want to learn to speak to myself the way you do, not with criticism, but with care. I want to learn to see myself through your eyes and believe that even if I don't feel worthy of rest, I am still allowed to receive it. It's easy to confuse exhaustion with failure. I've done it more times than I can count. When the day ends and I feel worn down, I don't simply say, I'm tired. I say, I didn't do enough. When I struggle to fall asleep, I don't ask myself what I need. I ask, what did I forget? Who did I disappoint? Why can't I be stronger? And somehow, rest turns into something I need to justify instead receive. It becomes a negotiation. If I did more, I could sleep. If I was better, I'd be allowed to stop. And slowly, without noticing, I turn sleep into a transaction and peace into a performance. But tonight I'm choosing a different way, not because I've earned it, but because I've had enough of the wait. I'm learning that rest is not the end of effort, it's the beginning of healing. It's the moment where I stop trying to hold everything and finally allow myself to be held. It's the sacred breath that reminds me I'm human, and that's okay. That I wasn't meant to carry the full weight of the world or even the full weight of my own expectations. And it's not weakness to admit that. It's not failure to feel like I'm at the end of myself. It's honesty. It's surrender. It's the most human thing I can do to say, God, I can't keep doing this alone. I'm ready to rest in you. There's no checklist I need to complete first. There's no report card I have to turn in before I lie down. There's just this moment, this breath, this night, and a God who sees me completely and still calls me beloved. I don't have to hide. I don't have to earn my way back into your presence. You never left, and you've been waiting patiently, not for me to clean myself up, but for me to come as I am. So here I am, unfiltered, unfinished, still struggling to believe I'm allowed to be here, but I'm showing up anyway. I'm choosing to believe that your love doesn't waver based on my performance. I'm choosing to believe that even if I feel unworthy of rest, I'm not disqualified from it. I'm choosing to believe that you see more than just what I failed to do. You see the pain I carried, the strength it took to try again, the vulnerability in the way I'm praying now. And maybe that's what makes this moment holy. Not because I feel strong, not because I have everything figured out, but because I'm allowing myself to be honest, because I'm laying down the heavy mask and asking to be held without condition, because I'm whispering into the quiet, please stay, please don't go. Please remind me that I'm not alone, and I trust you will, because you always do. You stay when the shame says I'm too much. You stay when I don't have the right words. You stay when I pull away. You stay when I cry for no clear reason. You stay when I pretend I'm fine. You stay even when I forget you're near. And it's that kind of love, steady, patient, gentle, that slowly teaches me how to rest. Tonight, I want to sink into that love. Let it surround me. Let it soften the edges I've been holding so tightly. Let it quiet the noise in my head that tells me I should have done more. Let it rewrite the story I've been living, the one that says I must be perfect to be safe, flawless to be loved, strong to be worthy. Let your love write a new story, one that says I can be weak and still chosen, one that says I can be messy and still held, one that says I can be tired and still treasured. And when I wake in the morning, if those old thoughts return, the ones that keep score, the ones that whisper, I've failed, let this night stay with me. Let the memory of rest be strong enough to answer back. Let the peace I feel now remind me that I can live differently, not driven by pressure, but guided by grace. So I'll close my eyes again, not because the guilt has gone completely, not because the shame has vanished, but because I'm choosing something different. I'm choosing to believe that this moment matters, that I'm not beyond kindness, that I'm not too flawed for comfort, that even now, especially now, I am allowed to rest. I've noticed something tonight that I never really saw before. Every time I withhold rest from myself, I'm not just tired. I'm carrying quiet punishment. I tell myself, not yet. You haven't earned this. You didn't show up well enough. You didn't handle that moment right. You didn't love well. You didn't try hard enough. You didn't give enough. You failed at being who you needed to be. And so I wait, holding out sleep like a reward at the end of a race I keep losing. But the truth is, the race isn't real. The finish line I keep chasing is made of shame, and it moves further every time I get close. It's never enough, and it never gives back what I thought it would. That kind of striving doesn't lead to peace. It leads to collapse, and collapse is not rest. It's desperation. But you don't meet me with that kind of exhaustion. You don't wait for me to be emptied before you offer fullness. You don't hold sleep hostage. You give it freely. Because you know I'm human. You made me with limits. You shaped this body with needs, breath, stillness, comfort, restoration. You didn't ask me to earn any of it. You simply built it into the rhythm of being alive. And somewhere along the way, I forgot that rest isn't a luxury. It's a lifeline. And denying it to myself is not holy. It's harmful. So, tonight, I'm choosing to believe you. I'm choosing to lay down this inner judge who keeps telling me I need to prove myself first. I'm choosing to silence the voice that equates effort with value. I'm choosing to stop withholding softness from my own heart. And I'm choosing to trust that if you say I'm worthy of rest, even in my mess, then I am. Not because I feel like it, but because you are good. And your goodness doesn't depend on my performance. It's strange how vulnerable it feels to simply rest, not just to sleep, but to release. To let go of the tension I've held all day, to stop replaying conversations and regrets, to stop holding myself hostage with what ifs and I should have known betters. It feels like admitting I can't carry everything. It feels like surrendering control. And maybe that's why it's so hard, because control made me feel strong, even when it was slowly breaking me. But now I see that strength isn't in the gripping, it's in the releasing. So I release. I release the fear that if I stop thinking, everything will fall apart. I release the lie that I'm only lovable when I'm useful. I release the guilt that clings to me in moments of silence. I release the belief that I have to earn my way back to peace. And I open my hands, figuratively and maybe even literally, to receive what you've been trying to give me all along. Tonight, I don't want to earn anything. I don't want to prove anything. I just want to breathe, slowly, deeply, like someone who is safe, like someone who is not in danger from their own thoughts, like someone who can lie down and not be followed by the echo of failure. I want to sleep like someone who is loved fully, even in their flaws. Because I am. You say I am. And I believe you more than I believe my own shame. So I stretch out beneath this blanket again, not trying to force rest, but allowing it to find me. I soften the edges of my jaw, the line of my shoulders, the tightness in my chest. I give my body permission to feel what it needs to feel. Fatigue, ache, tenderness. I give my heart permission to be held, and I give my soul permission to exhale the weight of the day. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know if the shame will try to return, but I know that tonight I chose something different. I chose presence over perfection. I chose mercy over measurement. I chose love over fear. And in that choosing, I found something I thought I didn't deserve.